Hey, welcome back to the studio. This video, we're going to be painting another set of, I think like 3 paintings on this one. I'm going to be showing you how I fly through them. They're going to be UFO, landscape, impressionisms, really cool. Also a cowboy impressionisms, just to show you how quick I go about it, how I also do it with the large paintbrush. But then also today we're going to be having a really great transparent conversation talking about the distractions in your life, some of the distractions that come into your life, some of the things that can throw you off into your mindset to be successful. And they'll come from places that you may not expect, or they come from places that you do expect, but we're not allowed to talk about it. So let's break it down right now. Let's go into this painting video and we can have this conversation together. All right, so this is me right here breaking down this painting, right? I like to start off with the background colors, as we always do. We start with the background color, so that way it's kind of like our way of having a gesso. And right, it's kind of like having a gesso, but it's better than a gesso because there's a color back there. So it's kind of like giving us that blue, that background, that bluish sky kind of look. But also what it does for me is it tricks my mind for the psychological effect where I don't have those white spots in there, and there's white spots that's going to be underneath a painting. So anytime that I'm able to do any type of color or any kind of principal piece, I won't have any kind of blank area underneath of that spot where there's like little freckles of white canvas. So that's what we always do right there. And I just try to blotch out the colors as fast as I can in the background, and I do it with the large brush, either the 1-inch brush, or I do it with the 1.5-inch brush, or the 2-inch brush. Either one. I try to just blotch out my colors as fast as I can. That is the real cheat code right there, right? I always say this is an art class, but I'm going to give you a gem right now when it comes to art lesson. Something that I wish that I've done years ago, but it took me a while to learn it, is that I use larger brushes, and I get down with the colors as quick as possible. So you can see how I'm like just really blotching in the darker colors as quick as possible, so that way I can layer it. I go with the darker colors first so I can layer it, and then I'm able to build the light on top of that. All right, so that's how it works. Never start off with a smaller brush or anything like that. You're just going to waste your time, and the confidence isn't going to be there. Now, one of the conversations that I wanted to talk about today, to be transparent, is someone asked me, what is the mindset to be successful? What is the mindset when I'm consistently making $30,000, $40,000 a month? And the mindset is very simple, but it's not so simple. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And I'm not going to lie like it is, because I've had over 77 different corporate jobs, and I understand how easy it is where it's like just to collect a paycheck, just to go to work and you collect a paycheck, regardless if you do okay, decent, or whatever. Come on, we already know that most of the time you're not really working. I mean, you are, but you're not. I mean, maybe half of the day you're working. The other half is like we're doom scrolling on the phone. We're on the internet. We're trying to find ways to distract us from working. All right. And you get used to where you're going to always collect a paycheck. But when you're an entrepreneur, you basically, you eat what you kill, or you eat what you catch, right? Like you actually have to work. You actually have to produce. And it takes a very shift of mind. So the things that can throw you off from being successful is that where you don't see it at, it could even be your own loved ones, to be honest with you. It could be your own family. It could be your loved ones. It could be your husband. It could be your wife. It could be even your children, right? And it's like they don't mean to, but it's a human condition. And the human condition behind it is that you're becoming more disciplined, or you're actually changing. And change is scary for everybody, because once you start changing, you could either become someone else, or it also puts a mirror in some people's flaws. But also it could also scare some people away, where it's like, okay, are you going to become someone else where you can leave us, or even where you becoming a different person, it changes the comfort, so sometimes the distraction might be something as simple as, hey, do you want to watch Netflix? Hey, do you want to watch that show? And then you start feeling guilty to having to tell your loved ones, like, no, I have to do work, I have to paint. You start resenting the process of being a painter. So I always tell people, don't feel guilty about operating a business. Don't feel guilty about running your own business in your own life, because the best way that you can take care of other people is to be able to take care of yourself first. That's why it's always the best analogy is the airplane, right? Where when you're on the airplane, they say you got to put on the mask first, the oxygen mask. If something goes wrong, you got to take care of yourself first. You can't take care of other people, and you have to be able to take care of yourself. But also understand where it's not for everybody. That's why when you see entrepreneurs of real successful people, they're pretty selfish. And there's going to be times where if you want to hit those type of numbers, you have to be selfish. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody wants to hit $30,000-$40,000 a month, but maybe your goal is to make $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And we have members who's inside the elite community who's making those numbers, you know? So we already have those testimonies, and you can reach out to those people, how they're able to do it. But and we have members who are doing it part-time, where they already have a full-time job. But to get to a point where you actually are making those numbers, if you're looking for something where you could be like, I wanted to replace my day job, then you have to put into your mind that this is your new day job. This is your new job. You're going to have moments where you're going to sacrifice. You're going to have moments where you're not going to take a vacation. You're going to have moments where you're going to skip holidays. You're going to have moments where you can't take off of work like you could when you were collecting a steady paycheck, and you could just collect PTO. You could collect a part-time, or you could not part-time, but what is it, a PTO, where you take paid time off, or you get vacation time. You don't have that anymore unless you give it to yourself. And what I mean by giving it to yourself, I always tell people that freedom is earned. I'm not a believer that freedom is given to everybody. I don't believe in that. I believe that freedom is earned, and you have to earn it. In order for you to earn your freedom, in order for you to have to earn your vacation, in order for you to have to earn the things that you really want, because you do say that you want it. You say that you're capable. I know that you're capable. And I tell that to people all the time. Look, if I can do it, then you can do it. I know you're capable. But in order for you to do it, you have to do it. In order for you to do it, you have to do it. You have to go. In order for you to get out, you have to go in. You have to do the work, or you have to burn the ships. There is no going backwards. So a lot of times I work with a lot of people, and sometimes I hear from them where they're like, well, I have to be done with my painting at 4 p.m. because my husband's asking about it. My wife is asking me when am I coming back to watch TV or watch something like that. And those look like it comes from a place of love, but it's also a distraction for what you want to do, for what your goals are, and you're going to resent it afterwards. And I always tell people, you can't serve two masters. So in order for you to be successful at times, you can't serve two masters. There's been plenty of times in my career where I missed vacations, I missed family events, I missed different things in my life because I had to be selfish for my career. Now, is it right or wrong? I can't answer that for you. But that was for me in my life of what I needed to do to go forward, to get out. Like, I was in situations where I was in debt. How do I get myself out of it? The only way that I could get myself out of it, I can't go backwards. Going backwards is doing the same thing and expecting different results. That's insanity. And it would take me forever to get out instead of just going forward, pushing myself forward. And the way to do that is by also having support from your family, that you have to put your career first. You have to put yourself first at the end of the day. And it's not wrong. And these are deep topics, right? Because it's hard to talk about it, because we're not allowed to talk about it, because even if we do talk about it, or even if we bring it up, it becomes the notion where it's like, just by us questioning it or saying it, it'd be like, oh, you don't love your loved one. You don't love your partner. You don't love your spouse. So you're not even allowed to ask these questions, or you're not even allowed to say it. But you know what it feels like, right? Where you're in a relationship or something. I mean, being an artist or being even an entrepreneur is hard enough as is on relationships, but especially as an artist, because usually when you're starting off, it's usually where they have to pretend that they're supporting you, but it's hard to support you when it's like, where's the bacon at, honey? Where's the money at? And that's why I created this this program as well too, so I can show people all of the mistakes that I made, so that way you can start making money as early as possible. You don't have to go through the the steps and everything else of what I did when I was trying to play the Instagram game and the social media and the gallery stuff and the art fairs. When I was doing that, I was doing all these steps and I was paying money was going out, but I wasn't bringing any money in, and that sucks on relationships. And they're supposed to support you or support your hobby, because that's what it is. But then at the same time, you have to make a choice for yourself, that you have to either work more or whatever your goal is. And that's something that it becomes like a therapist at times when it becomes about coaching, because then usually if I hear that someone's numbers are down or something looks bad, or if you're in a different place, I'll be like, it's usually where they have a spouse or they have a household situation that's not supportive and it's not conducive to what they want in their business, and it's hard, because then you start feeling guilty when you want to work or you want to do extra paintings, or you want to do something else. Maybe you want to spend a little bit extra time in the studio, and you're like, ugh, but I don't want to upset my partner, because they understood that they stood by me when I was in my gallery days and I was poor, and I don't want to let them down. These kind of thoughts go into your head. These are natural things, and nobody talks about it really. So nobody really talks about these things and how difficult it is to be an entrepreneur, how difficult it is to be an artist, and it's best when you have a supportive partner, somebody who understands, and that there's going to be times where there is no work-life balance. I don't believe in work-life balance. Work-life balance is something that's created for TV. It's work. And if you want it bad enough, then you have to work for it. There's been times where I would stay in the studio, I would sleep in the studio, because I needed to get the work done. I have goals, I have obligations, I have things that I need to do, in comparison to where I could just rest, and it could be like how it used to be with the 9 to 5, and it's not like that anymore. So these are things that you need to put into your mind, where you're at, where your goal is at. One of the first questions that I ask as soon as you come into the community is I ask, hey, what is your number one goal? Like, what is your why? Make sure your why is larger than yourself. Make sure it's bigger than yourself, because there's going to be a day that you're going to make your money. So make it larger than money. You're going to meet that metrics, and then what? Then there's going to be days where you're not motivated. You don't feel like working. You don't feel like painting. You don't feel like doing it. A lot of days doesn't feel good. Even to me, there's a lot of days that don't feel good, but you still have to get up out of the bed. What's the thing that's going to get you out of the bed? And when you keep that in your mind, it's easy for when you have these moments as well too, for these people who love you, but they still want you to revert back to the old you, because that's comfort. You have to remember what you're doing it for. And I mean, if people would listen to me too much, like it would be like a marriage counselor out here, or there would be like divorce court. Like I'd have people getting divorced or something, because there's going to be times where it's like that, and you have to be selfish, where you have your career and you have your things that you want in order to do better. And one of the mindsets, one of the things that I always say is like, hey, if you want somebody who's a 9 to 5 person, then that's the type of lifestyle that you're going to get. If you want us to be poor, if you want us to be broke, if you want us to always chasing the wheel and living off the salary and nothing's going to change and we're doing the same as everybody else, and then that's a 9 to 5 thing where we're just, we're in that lifestyle, if that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, and there's something more that you're capable of, and if that it's something more capable of that you can provide for your spouse or for your relationship, for your kids and for your family, then you need to make these sacrifices to work. But they also need to respect and understand that it's time for you to work and to respect your business. All right. So this is a really intriguing, this is a deep conversation. And this is a big part. So that's why one of the things too, I always like to ask people, do you have support system at home? If you do, then that's a great thing. If you genuinely have a support system at home, some people say that they have a support system at home just because they receive the financial part of it, but that's just only a small part. Sometimes that could be even a bigger trap, because you might have somebody who put you in a situation financially, and then they could pull the plug if they're not happy with you not spending enough time or something. Well, I pay for this, I'm not paying for your next whatever, because they financially support it. Compared to if you have somebody who supports you and they understand that there's going to be times where you don't see them, or there's going to be times where you're not going to be at a family event, or there's going to be times where maybe you don't have a weekend out with them. There's been times where, you know, I didn't have weekends because I had to get done with work, or I had to do certain things, but I didn't have a structure in place either, as much as I'm creating for you that's inside of the elite community. And one of the biggest things that I try to work with everybody is to make sure that you do have a structure, you do have a schedule. The days that you're able to actually work, like work the days that you're able to work. So that way, on the days that you're not able to work and you want to take that rest, either if it's a one day, if it's a Sunday, or if it's 2 days, if it's a Saturday and Sunday, you don't feel this feeling inside of you that you feel guilty because you need to be back at the studio creating work, but you also don't feel guilty because your partner's like, oh, you're not spending enough time with us, you're not spending enough time with the kids. And they're looking at it as the days when you treated it like a hobby, but it's not a hobby anymore, right? It's not a hobby, it's a real thing. The market is there on eBay, you're selling the art. So a lot of times people aren't telling me the truth, because these are topics that we can't discuss, because if you say it, it kind of means like, oh, you don't love your partner. No one's saying that at all, but your numbers are low. And usually your numbers are low because of your household situation. Your numbers are low because your partner or whatever situation that you have. I mean, hey, no one says that you don't love your kids, but it could even be a situation where your kids. So that's why I create the 90-minute rule, where it's like during the 90-minute rules that you're working, there's no cell phones, there's no distractions. The distractions is be more stern, with your family, that there's no distractions. You can't be bothered in between. Hey, look at this, daddy. Look at this, mommy. Hey, look what's going on here. You're over here getting this, you're cooking this, you're doing that, and you're doing in betweens. There is no more in betweens. Work your 90 minutes. Don't get distracted, and make sure that you're firm with your family and friends about what you're doing, that this is your career, this is your business. And I'm telling you, you're going to see a big difference. So a lot of times people don't tell me that full picture. They just say, oh, my numbers are low. Yeah, your numbers are low, but there's a whole mindset that's going on. There's a household situation. And I know it's not easy. These aren't topics that I could talk about on a universal level, because I can't tell you what to do in your household or what to do, right? Like I can't say what to do in your relationship. But a lot of times the boogeyman doesn't come in a black leather vest jacket in an alleyway. Usually it comes from somebody in your family. You know, that's usually like where the worst type of peer pressure or the worst type of influence comes from, is people who disguise it as love. So I just wanted to discuss that right there. I think it's a powerful thing to break down. And look at this beautiful painting right here. I mean, I love this painting right here. This is a dog, and we're just having fun with it. We have the proportions. You can do this. This is an art class. Anybody can do this. You just show up, you have the proportions already, and you're able to just do it in your own version like you're a child. And we have the systems in place inside the community where I show you how you sell this on eBay, because the market is already there. There's 189 million sellers on there. So you could do that for yourself. All right, so if you want to learn how you can do this for yourself, click the link below, join us inside the free eBay art community. And we also have conversations like this all the time. Every Sunday we have a group Q&A where we get together, we discuss your business plan. And I even have a mentorship program where I have a roadmap where I can actually build your store for you, so you can just focus on the painting part. All right, because look, like I said, we already have enough going on, you have enough going on, and I understand. So let me help build your business up so you can just focus on the art part. Click the link below, send me a message, and I'll see you in the next video.